Joe Posnanski, and with me is Michael Shore. Michael, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Joe.
You are so welcome. It has been so long.
It's been a long time. I've been absent from the PosCast verse. That's what they call. That's what fans on the internet.
That's what
call.
everybody calls it. Everybody's been calling it the PosCast verse for so long.
I've been launching the shooting of the new show I'm doing with Amy Poehler called Dig. It's very exciting. Yeah, it'll be out sometime in the fall. We started shooting. This is day 5. And we have a late call today because we're shooting at night. So I am free in the morning to open baseball cards with you.
We are opening baseball cards. This is so exciting. So yeah, let me, I'm literally opening the boxes as we speak. I bought a whole bunch of boxes. So let's kind of go over again what this is.
Yeah.
We have been doing this now, I believe, is this our 5th year? 4th or 5th year?
4th or 5th for sure.
Yeah. Doing this. What we do on this podcast is, as most of you certainly know, we open baseball cards. We'll spend the next month or so opening up baseball cards on this, and not just baseball cards, all sorts of sports cards on this podcast. And we will talk about them and laugh about them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give them away. We're going to give all of these cards pretty much away to you in gigantic boxes filled with like more stuff than you could ever imagine.
Mm-hmm.
We will have all sorts of other prizes, and we are doing this to raise money for ALS. So this is the 4th or 5th year that we've done this. This is the 2nd year that we've done it for Team Gleason, where the amazing people based in Louisiana. Obviously, it is the foundation of Steve Gleason, the former NFL player, and what they focus on is how to help people with ALS live better. They focus on all kinds of new technologies and all of this. And what we'll have, this will be on my website. Mike and I will both tweet this out, or we won't tweet it out, but we'll put it on our social. We got this very beautiful video from Steve himself, thanking everybody for last year where we raised more than $76,000 for Team Gleason. We're hoping to beat that this year. But it's a beautiful video. But what's really special about it for me is it uses some of that exact technology that we're talking about, where it allows Steve to tell us, to talk to us, even though he's lost his voice and lost, his capacity to speak. He still is able to talk about the podcast and how much he appreciates everybody out there. It's really touching. We'll have that out there. So it's teamgleason.org, but there is a special link if you want to donate and be a part of this baseball card extravaganza. I'm missing stuff.
Yeah, well, we should explain how this works. So the way this works is for the next month or so, as regularly as we can manage, we're going to open different kinds of cards. Now, in the past, we have also invited special guests on. Tom Haberstroh came on, help us open some basketball cards.
Flula, remember Flula came on?
Borges came on, and we opened some football cards. I have purchased some excellent boxes this year. I'm very excited about this.
This is so exciting.
I have some 2005 UEFA or FIFA World Cup soccer cards.
Oh, I got some soccer cards too. This is so exciting.
I bought a box of 2017 Panini basketball cards. I'm going to go hunting for a Jason Tatum rookie, which will be fun.
Huge.
But the big one, which will be the grand finale, and hopefully we can have some of those folks on again. I'd love to have Tom come on and help us open some basketball
We will
cards.
Definitely be able to get some guests and fun people.
I recently purchased a 500 count box of 1974 Topps baseball cards.
This is crazy.
52-year-old 1974 Topps baseball cards. We're going to go through those. The big rookie that year was Dave Winfield.
Yeah.
And I did it because, I don't know if I told you this, but I wrote a book.
Wait, you wrote a book?
I wrote a book.
Okay.
And it's about fandom. It's called Big Fan. It's coming out in May.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's coming out in May. And it's I traveled all over the country and all over the world, really, and went to a bunch of different events, most of them sporting events, but also, I went to WrestleMania, I went to a Dead and Company show, I did all this kind of fun
That's
stuff
awesome.
in a search to understand fandom, what it means, why it bonds us together, how it bonds us together, why do you and I and billions like us care so deeply about the things that we care about. And one of the events, I won't spoil it, but one of the events that I went to
Yeah.
involved Dave Winfield. So,
Wow.
yeah, so Dave Winfield was at the event unexpectedly, and it was very fun. And so I was like, well, to honor the book coming out and the nature of what we're doing here for Team Gleason, I bought a box of 1974 Topps baseball cards. And in our final event, we'll be going through those, trying to find a Dave
Oh,
Winfield
that's
rookie.
going to be so exciting.
Yeah,
I'll tell you two things along those lines. One is I went into a baseball card shop here in Charlotte and basically said, listen, this is going to sound insane, but my friend and I, we opened up baseball cards to raise money for ALS. And the guy did not think that was insane at all. He seemed entirely
great.
nonplussed by the whole thing and basically was like, okay, what do you need from me? And I'm like, hey, I'm willing to drop some money. Can you give me a whole bunch of cool cards? Which he gave me. I've got 7 or 8 boxes here of all kinds of, some of it's garbage, some of it's awesome. I've got this. Have you heard of this Bowman draft box of
Sure,
cards?
of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I've got these Bowman draft cards where we'll be able to see if we can find a super rookie one of one of somebody we have no idea if he's going to be any good or not
Great.
at all. So that's going to be awesome. And at one point I said to him, yeah, the guy I do the podcast with bought a box of 1974 Tops. And this was the most uh non-emotional guy I've ever seen ever.
Sure.
But when I said that, he said this. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I said when they showed up.
I'm like, ooh, that's exactly right. So that's super duper cool. Second thing I want to tell you is such a coincidence. I also wrote a book.
Really?
Yeah. And my book is actually, it's a little different. It's about fandom. It's
Hmm.
about what it means to be a fan, where I
Huh.
traveled around the country, around the world. I went to Montreal for hockey. I went to Mississippi for the
It's what
Indigenous Stickball World
Indigenous stickball, I was
Series.
about to say they hold the Indigenous Stickball,
World
World Series
Series
there,
every
yeah.
year there. Yeah. Went to London for the darts championship. Like it
Whoa.
was crazy. It was truly crazy. And interestingly enough, in my adventure, Dave Winfield showed up. This is
Really?
really wild. Yeah.
Well,
My
that
book,
what a great sort of, dovetail that is for
it
you and
worked
me.
out great that we both ended up doing that. So yeah, my book is called Big Fan. It's coming out May 19th and available for pre-order everywhere. So
Yes, and so, part of what will happen here is here's how this is gonna work if you've never been with us before as we've done this.
please, and
So,
welcome, by the way, if you've never
welcome
been. Yeah,
to all
welcome.
of you, and welcome back to those of you who have participated in the past. So, we're gonna open these cards. We're gonna get a million different, cards of different sports. If you donate to our page at teamgleason.com, we ask for anything you can spare.
And
We
whatever you
know.
get, they've got a whole bunch of different
Right.
numbers on there. Yeah.
Times are tough and it's hard. People disposable income is at a minimum, but anything you can spare for a worthy cause. If you donate at least, what have we said in the past? $25.
$25, but in the past. But
$25 basically enters your name into a raffle that we will conduct at the end of this process. We'll pick, usually we pick like 5 winners, 5 main winners, and then a couple additional winners for other prizes that are donated or offered along the way.
yeah.
And you then will be able to choose basically any card that we have, any team. You can say to us if you win, I am a Steelers, Miami Heat, and New York Yankee fan. I chose those teams intentionally because those are the teams I hate the most. But even if you chose those 3 teams, we would gather all of the cards we've gotten from those 3 teams. We would pack them up. We would send them to you. We will also send you signed copies of books from friends of ours who offer those as prizes. We'll send you maybe a limited edition, like not available for order galley of the book
Oh
that
yeah, we
that
might.
we wrote together. There will be all sorts of stuff. We'll throw it into a big box and we'll send it off. We'll do this very quickly, by the way. With literally within, I would say, maximum 17 months after we finish.
I would say, I mean, look, that would be a record for us. But yeah, we'll definitely. But look, by 2030, you will have a box, and when
You'll
that box shows up at your door,
and you've totally forgotten that you ever did this, it'll be such a surprise. Now, a couple things to say. So what we're hoping is that you donate anything you can. If you donate $25, you'll be entered in the raffle
yeah,
to be a
I'd say,
prize
look,
winner.
I think if you donate anything, you're going to be in the raffle. But
Sure,
I
yeah.
mean, we always do that. But we would love if you could start at $25.
Yes. One caveat is from time to time when we've done this, we have found a truly insanely special card. Last year or maybe the year before, I can't remember now, I bought a box of 2000, whatever it was, 2000, I guess, football cards
Yeah,
and pulled a extremely rare Tom Brady numbered rookie.
that's right.
And we reserve the right in those situations to not have that be one of the prizes, but rather to sell that card individually or auction it or whatever, and then use that giant chunk of money to add to the Team Gleason pot. So if we happen to pull some kind of like really wild,
Sure.
expensive card, that will be held in reserve and auction. It'll all go to charity. It's all the money will go to charity one way or the other. But it's too big an opportunity to maximize the amount that we give
Yes.
to charity.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we'll keep an eye out on any kind of opportunities along those lines. A lot of people donate prizes. You know, we really appreciate that. We can only handle so much of it, but please, get involved in every way you can. I mean,
Yeah.
this is obviously really cool. I think before we open up cards, we should spend like 3 minutes talking about the crazy baseball news of the last few hours. We
Good
are
call.
recording this on Friday, January 19th, January 16th, rather. Um, so last night, the Dodgers signed Kyle Tucker
Mhm.
to a 4-year, $240 million deal, $60 million
Correct.
dollars a
With an
year,
opt-out after season 2.
with an opt out in case that's just not enough for him. And according to our chat, we are doing this live. We are recording these live now on YouTube. So you'll actually get to see the cards, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
side note, for the first, like, 3 years we did this, we were doing it audio only.
only we would be describing the cards very poorly. But according to chat, looks like Bo Bichette to the Mets. Is that right?
Oh, I have not seen that.
I
Is
had
that
not seen that. So
that
we are
breaking news?
breaking news that will come out for you guys, 3 days later.
You
But
know what, people with $40 billion hate is when someone with less than $40 billion steals something from them.
This must have just happened because I'm sure you are as well. I'm already getting text from Justin Halpern saying basically something to the effect of, well, this makes the Tucker deal even more outrageous. So I can only imagine what Bo Bichette got paid.
What is
Uh,
his, what are the details on the
I don't know.
contract?
Here we go. $42 million a year, according to one of our listeners. So would you say Kyle Tucker is $18 million a year better than Bo Bichette?
Here's the thing, a lot is being made about 60 million a year for Kyle Tucker, but for a long time on this very podcast,
Yes.
you and I have been saying the same thing, which is if you're the richest teams in the world,
Yes.
why do you not avoid the trap of we're paying Albert Pujols 35 million a year when he's 41 and can't walk, much
Right.
less run anymore,
Right.
by saying we have the ability to buy out your best years at a premium and then let you go to some other crummy team for your less good years.
Yeah.
And the Dodgers are doing exactly that. They are saying, they offered Tucker 60 million a year for 4 years. Would they have done a deal at 10,600? No, they
No.
wouldn't, because
No,
they
of course not.
know
No.
that 39-year-old Kyle Tucker is probably worth a fifth of that, if that.
If
So
that. Yeah.
what they're doing is they're saying, look, right now, this guy helps us win another World Series, and so we're going to overpay him for his best 2, 3, or 4 years.
Totally.
And then he'll go away and they'll do it to the next guy who's like Kyle Tucker. And it's outrageous and it feels unfair, but it's actually just smart business. You're paying more money for the best version of someone who can help you now, and you're limiting your downside liability long term. I don't understand. You know who the real loser is in all this?
Who's that?
The New York Yankees. Because you know who else could do this? The New York Yankees. And you know who doesn't do this or anything like it?
Right.
The New York Yankees.
Yeah.
Like, the New York Yankees could absolutely, after losing Juan Soto, have said, okay, we see which way the wind is blowing. We are going to go out. We're going to find a guy who can come to New York and hit 45 homers,
Right.
a left-handed power hitting outfielder.
Yeah.
And we're going to give him 60 million a year for 3 years. And then he'll
Absolutely.
go away. And I don't understand. I know they're technically a sort of mom and pop shop still, but I don't know why they're so behind. They're so behind the times.
Not a mom and pop shop. Come on.
But they've just been absolutely lapped twice now by both the Mets and the Dodgers, and they're in danger of being lapped. They're in danger of being lapped by the Blue Jays, Cubs, and Red Sox if the Red Sox ever decide to spend any money.
Well, that's wild if you think about it. But I think that the point, I would take the point even one level higher, which is I would rather give somebody who I think is great and is 27 or 28 or 29 years old. I'd rather give that person 4 years, $300 million than 8 years, $300 million.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you know that the money that you were spending is all up front. And all that you're getting at the end of somebody's career is cost.
Yeah.
Cost to playing time, cost to developing your team.
You have to pay someone else to take him if you
want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
If you don't want to get rid of him, you either have to play him or you have to like cut him. I mean, it's
and you know what else? Like Shohei, the greatest baseball player who's ever walked the earth,
yes,
is 32.
Yeah.
Like Shohei's window is beginning to close as a player. Mookie Betts is 34.
Yeah,
Freddie Freeman is 35, 36. Yeah. Like what they're saying that when we have Shohei, if we don't do everything we can to maximize the number of championships that we win while that guy is wearing our uniform, we are failing at our job. And it makes so much sense to get a guy like Kyle Tucker on short years.
Totally.
And say, like, if Kyle Tucker comes to the plate in game 6 of the World Series when we're down a run in the 8th inning and Shohei's on first and hits a home run, that is worth $240 million. That championship that they win will be worth that money.
I thought I would have taken it at some point to the widest extreme where I would, if I was the Yankees. By the way, let's pause to say this offseason has been, for us Yankee haters,
fantastic.
A delight. They're not even in the conversation. They're still like, can we afford to bring Cody Bellinger back?
They're playing like a game of brinksmanship with Cody Bellinger. While better players at more important positions are just being snapped up by Bregman over here and Bichette over here and Tucker over here and Ranger Suarez to the Red. The Yankees could have gotten Ranger Suarez.
Of course they could have.
Why don't the Yankees want Ranger Suarez? It's really wild to watch a team that it's a real tortoise in the hare situation.
Yeah.
Where heading into this millennium, they had a 25-mile lead in a marathon.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And they were like, you know what? We're going to take a little nap and rest up. And all of these teams have blown right past them. And the same way that the Dodgers are treating Shohei's window, the Yankees should be treating Judge's window, because the second Aaron Judge misses a lot of time with an injury or just ages in the same way that people always age in sports or whatever, it's like a little bit like the Steelers now, where you're like, what does it matter what coach they have? They don't have a quarterback. They have no quarterback.
No quarterback.
They kept doing this piecemeal thing like year to year. Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, and then Aaron Rodgers, who's 41 years old. And they're now heading into a year where they've got this endless streak of 20 years with no losing seasons, and they are having a losing season next year, barring a miracle.
Yeah.
They no coach and no quarterback, and the Yankees are staring down that same future. The second Aaron Judge isn't the best hitter who is outside of well, he's probably better than Shohei all around. Like, he's probably the best hitter in the game, and as soon as he isn't,
Offensively, the best
yeah,
offensive player in the game for sure.
yeah, and as
Yeah.
soon as he isn't, what happens to that team?
Well, I mean, and by the way, this leads to another thing. Before we open cards, we should talk about one more thing, which is at the end of the day. So now the Steelers are without a coach. For the first time in whatever 18 years, they've had three coaches since 1969, very famously, all of that sort of thing. When you look at that team now, and you and I share a true dislike of the Steelers, but when you look at that team now, that long streak of not having losing seasons, blessing or curse?
Oh, it's a blessing.
You think
I
it is?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't claim
I
this as
don't
a
know.
curse.
I mean, look, when you're winning Super Bowls in the middle of it, yes. But at some point, people get this is what the Kansas City Chiefs had for years, where, talking in the 90s,
Yeah,
where they every year they were good, every year they went to the playoffs, every year they lost in the playoffs. Uh, yes, of course, it's great fun. You don't want to be the Browns, you don't want to be the losing, but at some point that team needed to rebuild. And
right.
instead of rebuilding for the last 7, 8, 9 years, they just kind of counted on a really, really good game coach to get them to 500 every single year.
Their curse, and there is a curse, is deciding that they were so smart and well run as an organization that they could achieve a winning season without a quarterback.
Yeah, that's
And
true. That's
and they
true.
were right about it, which made it worse because every year they're drafting at like 19 or
Right.
23 or 22 or 26.
Right.
And the second that Roethlisberger was over the hill, they should have been like, okay, like if we want to actually compete for titles, we need the guy who replaces Roethlisberger. And they just punted and punted and punted. A lot is being made of them. They could have taken Jackson Dart last year. They didn't. They could have. There were guys in the last 10 years. Every time they drafted, there were guys who were potential franchise quarterbacks
Sure.
who they just passed on because they had this institutional belief. It's not that different from the Yankees in some weird way, or like the Heat in the NBA. Like they believe, and to some degree are correct in believing that their organization is so good and well run
Yeah.
that they can make the playoffs without wildly overspending or reaching for guys and banking on them being their franchise quarterback. And
And
the
they're
problem, and
right.
again, they're
They're
right. They
right. Yeah.
they go 10-7 every year, or 9-8, or 11-6, or
Right. It's always
whatever.
the same thing. Yeah.
But, like, the streak of 7 straight playoff losses is not an accident. When they get to the playoffs by winning 16-13, the
Yep.
games that they ought to win against lesser opponents, and then they get into a tournament where it's only the good teams, and they're immediately overmatched. And
Yes.
so that, to me, is a little bit what the Yankees are doing. The Yankees, as you have pointed out, still believe that they are the destination
Yeah.
for all young player. Like, everyone wants to be a Yankee. Why wouldn't you want to be a Yankee? And the truth is, no one cares anymore,
Nope.
really. And the Mets and the Cubs and the Dodgers have lapped them and surpassed them. And by the way, their scouting and managing and coach and GMing isn't as good as it was 25 years ago.
Nope.
And now I thought about them. Actually, everything comes back to the Yankees for me, as you well know. And I thought about
Yes.
them when I looked at the college football playoff bracket, because NIL has led to this situation where who's in the championship game? Miami and Indiana. And for how many years in a row was it Clemson, Alabama, Georgia? Just
Yeah.
one of those three
Yeah.
teams is the team that's going to win. And now, like, Alabama's the 9 seed and they lose pretty quickly. And
Yes.
Georgia gets knocked off by Ole Miss or whatever. And you just have you have parity now because it isn't, there are, kids growing up right now, kids my son's age, kids who were 17, Alabama and Ole Miss are the same. And
Right.
Ohio State and Miami are about, Miami just destroyed or beat Ohio State. There's no difference. It happens very quickly that
Oh yeah.
teams with that sheen, the sheen wears off. And that's what happened. That's what's happened to the Steelers. It's what's happened to the Yankees. It's what happened to a lot of these teams that did not figure out which way the wind is blowing, adjust with the times. And the Dodgers just absolutely shifted into fifth gear and
Yep.
blew past every other team. And that is what this Kyle Tucker thing really is. It's like they were the first people to figure it out. They have more money than God,
Right.
and they're just blowing everyone out of the water. And
Yeah.
it's like it's adapt or die, man. Like all these teams adapt or die.
One of our listeners just sent a message that the Yankees are Notre Dame now, and I think that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Well,
right.
yeah, like Notre Dame in the conversation. They're always going to be in the
Yeah,
conversation.
they're in the conversation. They're fine. That's it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about Notre Dame that I think is so Yankee like. Notre Dame was like so offended that they would not be included in this tournament. They were like, we're just shutting everything down. We are so like, how dare they? We're Notre Dame, and everybody else is like, who cares? Nobody cares. And that's what the Yankees are. It's like,
Yeah.
who cares that you're the Yankees? If
Yeah.
not for Aaron Judge, by the way, the Yankees would be nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. I mean, I don't like they're not willing to spend money. They play in you and I have talked about this forever, an antiseptic nothing stadium.
Yep.
They play in a division where there are other really interesting teams in that division.
Yep.
It's not like the Patriots when they were just dominating. They've got a great history. So does Notre Dame. That's great. Good for you. But the one thing that's keeping them the Yankees is Aaron Judge. Other than that, they're the Rockies. I mean, they're not the Rockies, but
they're not the Rockies,
they're
but
not the Rockies. But
there's an alternate timeline where Judge says, "I want to go back and play in San Francisco,"
yes,
and Aaron Boone has long since been fired, and you're hearing whispers about the Steinbrenners selling the team right now, and they have I mean they finished 14 games under 500 last year because they didn't have Cole and they didn't have
yeah,
Judge and like
yeah,
and they didn't trade for Jazz because they were like they was like what's the point like, I'm fascinated by I mean there's nothing more interesting in sports to me than dynasties fading, not
yeah,
crumbling, not
yeah.
catastrophically
No,
collapsing, but just slowly fading,
I think the Yankees would be the Cardinals. That's who they'd be.
Yeah.
They'd be the
Yeah.
Cardinals. It'd be like, okay, yeah, you know what? You've got a
A
great
like
history.
a team, a franchise with a rich and proud tradition
Right.
that
But that nobody ever thinks about other
yeah,
than St. Louis
no
fans, right?
one's like, they still believe that every kid across the country is, like, growing up and, has like, a photo of Casey Stengel on their wall or whatever, and, and wants to be Joe DiMaggio and wants to be Mickey Mantle, like,
Yeah.
that's just not the way the world works anymore, and I'm so happy that they're stuck in that mindset because it means that they're never gonna they could it is a sleeping giant, like, if the Yankees if Steinbrenner sold the team, let's say Steinbrenner sold the team for $12 billion to
Right.
some hedge fund conglomerate, kinda
Yeah.
like Guggenheim Group type group, they would be in the World Series. They would win the World Series in 2 years. Like,
Probably. Yeah.
if they
Because they'd
came in
spend the
and did
money. Yeah.
what the Dodgers did, they would just win the World Series within 2 years, and as long as they don't do that, they are not gonna win the World Series.
And it's so fun. By the way, our producer Sarah, who is a gigantic Yankees fan, just said she's pretending not to be offended by all this. But
Right?
frankly, we don't.
It's
Sarah, we
not
love you,
I
but
mean,
no, we don't
yeah,
care.
it's like, it's just fact.
It's just
Like, it's
facts. It's not deniable at this
yeah,
point. Yeah. All right, let's open some cards.
let's
This
do
is
it.
so exciting. All right. So I've got, like I said, boxes of like all kinds of different things here. I got soccer cards. I got football cards. I got basketball cards. I got baseball cards. I've got, this is very exciting, Marvel Studio cards. That I was just thinking, this is very funny. By the way, these are Marvel Studio cards. They decided to put like Mr. Fantastic. They're like, oh, who's the biggest Marvel star? It's got
I
to be
I think that it's not, don't think of it as Mr. Fantastic, think of it as Pedro
Pedro
Pascal.
Pascal. Well,
Yeah.
he's a huge star. But
I'm
I'm going to start with some junk because I think that's what people want because it's older and fun. Let's just say here's the kind of junk this is. As I was walking out the door, the guy said, "Hey, I got a couple more boxes for you, just
Sure.
so you can have." So these are Leaf set from 1991. These are
Great.
1991 Leaf baseball cards, Series 1, which, by the way, features Harmon Killebrew Hall of Fame puzzle and baseball cards.
Sure.
That's what it says here.
Yeah.
So I will lead it off. And look, right away, Hall of Famer Kirby Puckett. Look at that. Right away. First thing. I mean, come on.
1991 Leaf Kirby Puckett.
just think this could be yours if you donate to Team Gleason.
I kind of like that card.
That is actually, it's kind of a cool card. Leafs, I mean, they started doing better, but I guess these are Leaf or tops, right?
Leaf are a Canadian version of tops. Yeah. And there are Leaf has a very important place in the card collecting community because there are Leaf sets where like that's the best version of a certain kind of rookie that you can find.
Oh, that's fun.
Like there are certain like
is that
late,
more recent? Is that
well,
more recent?
some of it is more recent. Like there are Leaf cards of like from the late 90s, like David Ortiz and stuff. They were among the first to number cards. And so there are David Ortiz's and Pedro's and stuff that are important from the late 90s, but also very importantly, there are the 48 Leaf set is like a very famous set. That's the Jackie Robinson set. Like that's the card. If you want, there are certain guys from the past where the only way to get the best version of a card is if it's Leaf.
That's really cool. By the way, we should say, I mean, I don't know if we need to say it or not, but Leaf cards actually play a pretty big role in our book. Big fan coming up.
That's right.
Yep,
the 19, if you can picture in your head the famous Jackie Robinson rookie, the yellow background and the Brooklyn Dodgers hat, and it's a black border at the bottom with his name written out. That's a Leaf card. That Ted Williams is also pretty great. The 1948 Leaf set is
so those 1948 Leaf cards, they'll cost you.
They will cost you. Jackie Robinson in pretty much any condition is like 10 grand.
Makes sense, as it should be.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Randy Tomlin, Mike Morgan, Don Robinson. So this is going to be all sorts of pitchers. Scott Scudder. Remember Scott Scudder?
Scott Scudder.
Yeah, old red Scott Scudder.
Yeah, he's down there. Yeah, look at that. This design is terrible, by the way. This is a terrible baseball
They're
card
really bad, but the backs are not bad.
Are also bad, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Another Hall of Famer, Tom Glavine. Look at that.
Look at that.
I like that when I hold it up to the camera, it looks like Tom Glavine's right-handed.
Yeah,
that would be
for you it does, not for us.
No, for me on my end here.
Tom Glavine from Billerica, Massachusetts. I always have to say that.
Well, and I always have to say Tom Glavine is one of my all-time favorites because the very first baseball game I ever covered, he saved me. He came over to me and said,
"That's right.
Yeah, can I help you?"
Yeah.
Oil Can Boyd.
Oh, Dennis.
So great. Dennis. We love Dennis Oil Can Boyd.
Oil Can Boyd was a rare bright spot for Red Sox fans when he showed up because the team wasn't very good. And suddenly we had not only a good pitcher, but a guy who was like had some personality and was fun.
Yeah. What style?
Oil Can Boyd also one of the only like post Negro Leagues nicknames.
That's awesome.
That's truly awesome.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
Like just an absolutely like primo nickname.
I am a little surprised. I mean, obviously he was embodying the Negro Leagues. I mean, that was a big part of the way he performed, and he was a showman and all that sort of thing. Why somebody should do that now? Somebody should totally insist that this is their. I guess Jazz Chisholm does that to some
Jazz
degree.
Is close. Yeah, Jazz is in the ballpark, and it is like a breath of fresh air when a guy has a recognizable personality that so much of it is so anodyne and it's been driven out of them and they've been told like don't be interesting, don't do it. Like one of my favorite things about Tristan Casas, the Red Sox oft injured first baseman, is that he's a true weirdo. Like
he's a wonderful weirdo.
Wonderful weirdo. And like in his rookie year, went out to the outfield at like 11:30 in the morning, took off his shirt and took a nap. And all the veterans on the team were like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "What?" He was like, "I just like to take a nap shirtless." And like those guys are great. Like we should have more of those guys.
I love that guy. Here you go. Another Hall of Famer, Ryan Sandberg. Look at Sandberg. Look at that. Yeah, that's not a good card. But
these are bad. Also, the pictures are kind of too close. Like you don't see where they are.
remember. Well, you certainly remember Daryl Boston, of
Of
course.
course.
But I mean, like, I thought he'd be good. I thought Daryl Boston was going to be like a big
He was
star.
like one of those like multi-tool prototype speed power,
Yeah.
fielding. Like he seemed like he was headed for great things.
And here is the piece of the Harmon Killebrew puzzle
Oh,
that
you got the Harmo.
I got the Harmo part right at the top.
It's good.
So that's really exciting. So, all right. So there's my first pack. What are you opening for us first?
I'm opening one of my favorite sets every year is the Topps Heritage.
Oh, I love it.
Because they do they do a design from the past. They honor the past. So this is the 2025 Topps Heritage.
Oh, nice.
And this year, very excitingly for me, the design is the 1979 Topps design.
Oh,
So
I love that.
so 79, you may remember. This is what it looks like. Here's Lucas Giolito. So this is the design.
Wait, that's 76. That's not 79.
No, that's 79, isn't it?
No. That's 76.
76?
Yeah.
Oh, 76 makes sense. It's 30 years.
Yeah. That's 76.
So
79 is wonderful too, but 76 is fantastic.
yeah, it's the logo in the bottom left, the sort of like what the guy is, the guy a pitcher or hitter,
Right.
right? And then the two bands, the two colored bands, very 70s, two colored bands.
Yes.
At the bottom. So the big rookies in this set, 76 is like Eckersley, I think is a rookie.
Eckersley is a rookie in 76.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's another 76 rookie of value.
I can't remember offhand. Here's poor Dustin May, poor oft injured Dustin May.
Oh, poor Dustin May.
Did he land somewhere?
I don't think he's landed anywhere yet. I mean, I could be wrong about that.
So like the fun of this to me is when there's a color match. So here's Carlos Correa, and you can see the bands of color at the bottom are like roughly Astros colors.
Oh yeah,
which is fun.
That is fun.
So they have some parallels too. So here's Will Wilson of the Guardians, and this is like a black parallel, or a blue. I guess it's a blue parallel. And so a lot of these guys, these are rookie cards, so we won't know whether they're worth anything for a while. Blade Tidwell, great! What a great name that is, Blade Tidwell.
I love that name. By the way, Dustin May did sign. He signed with the Cardinals.
Okay. Garrett McDaniels of the Angels. Also, these guys, in comporting with the 1976 ethos, a lot of major leaguers are bringing back the mustache.
Which is one of the great things that's
like it started like Skeens, I think was a big leap forward for us in mustache technology, but now it's given rise to a lot of mustaches. Okay, so here's our first special card. So they do this thing in the Heritage set called Clubhouse Collection, where they have patches or game used bat slices or something.
Sure,
so this is a cool card. Look at this. So it's Freddie Freeman.
Oh wow, okay.
And Steve Garvey.
Well, sure.
But it's hand numbered. You can see that at the top, right? 64 of 75. It looks like hand numbered is very cool.
Very cool.
And I believe the Clubhouse Collection is game used stuff. Let me see if I can remember. Are game used? Yeah, game used pieces of equipment. So these are game used Steve Garvey and Freddie Freeman equipment.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, we've got to put this in one of my fancy sleeves here.
Put that in a special place for that. By the way, speaking of hand numbered, I'm doing something pretty special for my book, Big Fan, where if people pre-order Big Fan from the great folks there at Joseph Beth Booksellers in Cincinnati, where you can go to josephbeth.com. You can get a numbered. You'll definitely automatically get a book signed by both me and my co-author. But in addition to that, you might get a special numbered edition of something where you'll get some like special.
So you're doing like a signing where it's like there's, you pre-order from josephbeth.com and you get a signed copy, but
that's right,
guaranteed. Some of those copies are limited editions, like out of 50 or out of 25.
Yeah, like some of them will have like my favorite 3 Tampa Bay Rays or something. Like there'll be like all sorts of special things. Some of them, I'm asking my co-author all kinds of questions
Like
in
what? Like
mine.
what kinds of questions?
Oh, like let's see. I've asked him to decide what sports should be added to the Olympics. I
Okay,
put that in there. I asked him a couple of different times who his favorite Red Sox is,
that's
Boston Red
fun.
Sox
Fun
player is.
question. It's funny because I've done a similar thing with my co-author where I've said like, some of them are like, here's the special limited edition three greatest Rays of all time. And then my co-author will write in their three greatest Rays of all time. But there's also really special ones. There's a special, very, very limited edition out of 10 where your book might be signed by me, my co-author, and also Ted Danson or
Whoa,
Kristen Bell or
whoa.
perhaps Amy Poehler. So
Ah,
if you're basically entering yourself into this like really fun raffle where you might get a very limited edition, hand numbered limited edition, much like these cards, that has like a special bonus autograph on them.
amazing.
Very fun, yeah.
How long are we going to keep that gag going about the us not writing this book together
Until
gag?
after the book comes out is the answer.
That seems fair. That seems
Yeah.
about right. So, by the way, I'm going to just say this up front. I'm not a big Steve Garvey fan. I'm not. However, even with that said, that's one of the coolest cards we've ever
That's a
pulled
cool
on this
card,
show.
yeah.
That is a very, very cool
Game used
card.
relics from Freddie Freeman and Steve
And Steve
Garvey.
Garvey. That is an incredibly cool card.
Yeah.
All right. Are you done? Have you
Yes, I'm
pulled?
done,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So this guy, like I said, he threw a bunch of different cards in there. Do you know about these cards? This Select 2025?
Of course, yeah.
Well, you know about everything. So what? I don't even know what the deal is with these cards. But he said this would be a great box to open.
Okay. Let's do it.
And I guess according to the box, you will get 3 autograph or memorabilia cards per box.
Select is a division, is a brand within Panini
Panini. That's what
that
he said.
has
Yeah.
that they're better, I would say, for basketball cards
Yeah.
than baseball cards, in part because Panini does not have a deal with MLB. So if I'm not mistaken, those cards are not going to say, for example, Royals. They will just say Kansas City, and you won't see the
Ah,
logo
gotcha.
because they don't have the rights to the logos and the team names. So, but they're still fun, and there's a lot of really good. There's good select football cards too. There's a lot of
Okay.
they were sort of seen as like a slightly less valuable brand, but there's some pretty awesome select football cards and basketball cards out
Okay.
there.
He thought there might be some cool baseball cards that we might be able to pull out of this thing. So
I'm sure there are, yeah.
I will find out for sure. He also said you're into this world much more than I am. Somebody just signed a huge deal with the NFL to release cards where they actually become licensed. Who is that?
Well, they've been switching brands. So for a long time, Panini was the NBA and
Right.
all of the like the Flawless brand and the National Treasures brand and all this stuff was all Panini for basketball. And Topps would release basketball cards that were the same thing. It would just say Boston and not Celtics because
Gotcha.
they had, yeah. That has changed this year. This year is Topps' first year as the licensed manufacturer of the NBA.
But he was saying something about the NFL.
The
So
NFL has also gone the same way. So if you bought a Drake May rookie Topps card, for example,
yeah.
the Drake May rookie Topps card, he might have signed it. It might be a patch or whatever, but it would just say New England. It wouldn't say
I see.
Patriots. And
So
now
now
that
Topps is
Topps, yeah, Panini seems to be fading and Topps seems to be reclaiming their
okay. Yeah.
throne.
I think and I guess they're not even are they even Topps now? They're like Fanatics, right? Like it's all one.
It's all I don't know exactly how it's all working, but they're still Topps branded, but it's all Fanatics has moved into this space aggressively and
All right. Well, let's look at these select cards. And I got to tell you right away, when you can get a Luke Keaskel card right off the bat. I mean,
Sure.
come on. How exciting is that? All right. Then there's Spencer Jones.
Oh, touted rookie, the next Aaron
rookie.
Judge.
I guess these are touted rookies in general. Is that right?
Maybe.
Uh,
I have like Spencer Jones terrifies me for obvious reasons.
Sure.
Because his ceiling is like the next Aaron Judge. He's also like 6'9" and weighs 300 pounds.
Can we give ourselves credit, by the way, as podcast hosts, can we give ourselves credit that we were on the Aaron Judge bandwagon before a lot of people?
Were we?
Well, the way we were on it was we were like, that guy is gigantic. He'll probably be great.
Yeah.
Like we were on that very early on.
Spencer Jones is the same way. The difference is that Spencer Jones still, he hits a home run every like 9 at bats in the
Right.
minors or whatever, 8 at bats, but he's also striking out at a phenomenal rate.
Phenomenal rate. Like
Like a
truly.
like an
Making
all-timer.
Adam Dunn look like a contact hitter.
Yeah, so the question is he Adam Dunn or is he Aaron Judge? And I
Right.
just am so desperate for him to be a worse Adam Dunn.
All right, here's Rintaro Sasaki. I don't need to do that one. Although I guess that's a special card, right? Is that
Yeah, it looks like a parallel, yeah.
parallel maybe of some kind? Here's a select certified. Hey, of Jacob Mizurowski. That's a good
Ooh.
one.
Yeah, these are
Yep.
chrome too, aren't they? These
That's
are
a chrome one. It's
yeah.
a number 2, it says on the back, and it's select certified. So I don't know what that means.
So wait, they went ahead and certified that.
And selected it. They selectly certified it. So I don't know. That card might be worth like a lot of money. You could have this card. Donate to Team Gleason. I'm giving that card away. And then, but I don't know that I'm going to give away this Griff O'Farrell card.
No, you should keep that one.
You might keep that card. By the way, one thing I should add, only for people who are watching, we have not done this podcast in so long. In the interim between then, I've gotten contacts. I'm wearing contact lenses.
Whoa!
Yeah,
Congratulations!
Thank you. And it's something I've toyed with, for years, and then finally I'm like, you know what, doing it, getting contacts. And I generally like them, but I do not like not being able to see up close. I do not like that at all.
Well, you gotta. I mean, I've had contacts since I was in 6th grade. You gotta also
have the readers.
When you're our age, you got to get cheaters. Yep.
Yeah. No. So I've got the cheaters, but I don't want to really put on. Like the whole point of it is I'm not going to be like, putting these on to like determine, which card I've gotten, but I might have to at some point. All right. What do you got?
All right. Cal Quantrill on the Marlins.
Nice.
In a camo hat. All right. Sure.
That's fun.
He's also in the military, apparently. Mike Yastrzemski. So here's a question that was asked me recently. Can you field a full team with everyone playing his natural position of
kids,
of kids or grandkids? Because I think you got to throw Yastrzemski in there.
Well, according to this will help us because according to our listeners, they have announced that Bo Bichette is going to play third base.
I'm sure the Red Sox were after him for the same thing.
Well, but I mean, for the Mets, he has to, right? Because I mean,
right.
Semien is at second. Obviously, they've got a shortstop.
Yeah.
So, so you put him at third, right?
Right.
Although you lose him at short. Is there a shortstop that's like?
Well, you could put Tatis back at short if you needed to, right?
Boy, he wasn't good at short.
He wasn't good, but you could play him there. But who you've got is Kevin Biggio still in the league?
Yeah, I think he is. Wasn't he with the Royals at some point?
Yeah.
Like maybe.
So you've got Vladdy Jr. at first.
Yeah.
You've got let's put Kevin Biggio at second. You can put Bichette at short.
Yep.
And you can put Tatis in right, and you put Mike Yastrzemski in center because he plays there sometimes. Who else? What are we missing? Isn't there a catcher? I was trying to remember if there's a good catcher.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually
do some research here.
Yeah, I'll do a little research while you're opening up cards.
Well, Bellinger can play center too, and you can move.
Bellinger would be better in center than.
Let's put Bellinger in center. Let's move Yastrzemski to left.
Yeah, and Tatis and right. You've got a great
Tatis and right. It's good outfield and a good infield. Vladdy Jr. I mean, Kevin Biggio isn't great, but you could put Bichette at short, and then I guess we still need a third baseman, a catcher, and then a pitcher and a reliever.
Yeah, let me take a look at some.
All right, I'll keep going. Here. Here's Scott Efros.
By the way, Jacob Wilson at short. I mean,
there you go.
Yeah, I mean that one's easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do that and move Bichette to third.
Okay.
Scott, please keep investing in players like Scott Efros, New York Yankees. This is where you want to put your money. Ooh, look at this. Okay. Here's a very special card. Here's Taylor Walls, but it's all glittery and shiny.
That is so nice. Look how
Yeah.
shiny that is. It looks like it's like 4th of July.
This is like a blue speckle refractor or something. Terribly centered. Look at how bad the centering is on that card.
Well, they were trying to match 1976,
They're
right?
trying to get the accuracy of the 1979 or 76. That's a shame. That's could be great, but is it? Zach Veen. Zach Veen, kind of a good player, right?
I think so. I think,
Zach
but
Veen's got
look,
something.
every single person on the Brewers, you're just like, I guess they're good.
This
By
is
the way, but with the Cubs' big signing of Bregman, are the Cubs now the favorite in that division?
I think so, right?
But the Brewers are always winning that division. Like that.
Wait, is Zach Veen's on the Rockies in this card? Did he go to the? Is he on the?
Oh
Brewers
no, I'm sorry. You're right. He's
Yeah.
a Rock. Yeah, I don't know why.
I thought you knew something I didn't about the trade market.
No, but that would be a good move for the Brewers to pick him up.
Good, very good name, excellent name, Maverick Handley.
Oh, any first person named Maverick.
You gotta be so confident in your kid as a baby to choose a name and be like Maverick. I'm going Maverick on this one. They must be Top Gun fans, right?
That's so awesome.
Here's Jack Dreyer.
Okay.
Owner of 1 World Series ring and future owner of 11 more. If he can hang on.
Just hanging on. Just hanging on.
Another good name, by the way, Craig Yoho. That's it.
Yoho is you weren't gonna mess that up with a first name.
Yeah, choose anything you want.
All right, I'm gonna read off to you some sons. All right.
Okay.
And you tell me if they're gonna fit in here.
Okay.
So you got Kyle Karros, Eric's son.
Oh, I didn't know he was in the league.
Yeah. Cam Sanders is Scott Sanders' son.
Okay.
Logan Davidson is Mark Davidson's son.
Okay.
Jack Dreyer is Steve Dreyer's son.
Oh.
How about that?
Jack Dreyer. Look at that just now. So he can pitch for us.
He can pitch for us. Jaron Baker I guess I don't think
he's Dusty's kid, right?
He's Dusty's kid.
Yeah, he's the one who slid into almost impaled.
Who saved him?
JT Snow.
JT Snow saved him.
Yeah.
Griffin Conine, I don't know, and I'm not sure how much some of these guys are playing, but Griffin Conine. Will Wagner is Billy Wagner's son.
Oh.
About that. Jacob Wilson, we just mentioned. Duke Ellis is Robert Ellis's son. You knew Jack Leiter is Al Leiter's son.
Right.
Obviously, Jackson Holiday. We didn't even talk about Jackson
Holiday. What are we doing?
Yeah, I know. That's like a big one. Tyler Fitzgerald, right? He's a catcher, right? He's Mike Fitzgerald's kid.
Go back to Jackson Holiday. Where are we? Where are we with Jackson Holiday? Is he going to become what we want him to become?
I don't want to get hopes up for Orioles fans more than we should, but I kind of see a comeback year for them.
You do?
Yeah. Well, here's why. One, they've done a little something this offseason. Not a lot, but they've done a little something. And two, I just think they're not as bad as they were last year, right? Like there's too much talent for them to be as bad as they were last year.
I think, to me, the whole thing is about Rutschman at some level. It's like if Rutschman were the 850 OPS, 28 homer guy from that position with good defense as a catcher, like it changes the whole team. I think there's like a malaise cloud over the entire lineup where none of those guys, Heston Kjerstad and Kauser and Jackson Holiday, and
some of those guys are better than this. By the way, I want to interrupt here, because there are people screaming in their cars, wherever they're listening to this. We have sit there and talked about who we're going to put at shortstop, There's a shortstop we probably should have come up with right away.
Who's that?
And this is where our mind is. This is how our mind is. There's a guy in Kansas City who plays shortstop.
Okay.
He's pretty good. Pretty good player.
Mickey Morandini.
No, close. Bobby Witt Jr. How embarrassing is that?
I don't think he makes the team. Look, okay, here we've got a problem here. So here's another blue speckle refractor here of Landon Roop.
Yeah,
this is also horribly centered.
That is actually. Do you think they did this on purpose?
I don't know, or it just might be a mistake with this batch or something. But like, Get it
I'd like to
together,
make the
Topps
I'd like to
Heritage.
make the argument, and I'd like PSA to consider my argument, that poorly centered cards are much rarer than well-centered cards.
Interesting.
They should be the ones that are valuable. If you get a card that cuts off half the card, you'd be like, I mean, this was a huge mistake. This is a 1 of 1 is what this is.
The Ernie Banks rookie, which Topps rookie, which is 55
5
maybe.
probably, yeah.
It has, so that set had the team name at the very top of the card, and
Right.
7 out of 10 of the Ernie Banks rookies that you find, it's like the words are cut off, like literally cut off, where you only see
Oh,
the bottom of Cubs or whatever.
that's good.
And I will say, and this is like maybe it's like low grade OCD or something, but as a card collector, I can't take it. Like
No, you can't have that.
I
Not
can't have it.
that bad a
And you'll
card.
see cards that, they label them as OC off center, or MC miscut sometimes depending. And there are cards you can find where like a PSA 8 or 9 of a vintage card, which it like sharp corners and good edges and good stir, all that stuff. But if it's off center, I just am like,
You don't want it. You can't have it. Well, I
yeah.
mean, but how badly off center? I mean, like,
Well, yeah, right. Slightly. I don't know what when they use the micrometer to determine the centering. I don't know. I think I believe someone told me once that it's like, if 50-50 left right is perfect, I think 45 to 55
oh,
is considered
it's starting to be off centered.
is
Yeah.
considered centered, and anything less than that is off centered. But I don't know if I'm sure they have categories and degrees and stuff. But
Yeah.
I get upset when the cards are off center.
Well, especially top to bottom. That one's rough. All right. I am going to open more junk. I'm going to open up the 1991 NFL Pacific Pro Football Plus.
Fantastic.
I mean, come on. This is football, right?
Pacific was a brand that was around, mostly football cards, I think, was around for a while. There are Tom Brady Pacific rookies that matter, but that's not for another 9 years. But Pacific was like in that weird decade when everything was all crazy and the hobby was in a real lull.
Yeah.
Pacific, they made cards that mattered. So
What he told me when he gave me the boxes is like, I'd like to give you a couple of boxes from the garbage era.
yeah,
So
it's not, we're not opening primo stuff here, but
well, we are also, but that's not all we're opening.
but there's going to be some excellent names in this box.
Oh yeah, this is going to be great. So you got Tim McGee to start things off right there.
Oh, yeah.
These are not bad cards, by the way. Not terrible,
nice.
I think.
Tim McGee was a wide receiver.
Tim McGee was a wide receiver. I covered Tim McGee at and they had a tight end, Tony McGee.
Right.
So and Tony McGee was better.
Where'd Tim McGee go to college?
Good question. You're going to make me put on my readers.
You need your cheaters.
Tennessee.
Tennessee. I knew it was in the South somewhere. I was thinking LSU or something, but yeah.
You remember Vance Johnson?
Of course.
Sure.
Hated
right?
Vance Johnson. Hated that whole Broncos team.
Not as much as I did, but yes. Kevin Porter, for all of you Kansas City fans out there. Sure, you're going to have to do that. These are so far absolutely terrible, by the way. Here's Mark Dennis.
Lineman?
Tackle,
yeah.
Tackle for the Dolphins. And here's a good one. Henry Ellard. Henry Ellard was a good player.
Henry Ellard, speedster. He was he made it all the way to that Super Bowl team, didn't he? He was on the Super Bowl team. The Kurt Warner team? No? Or is he gone by then? Who am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking yeah, right. No,
you're thinking of not Torrey Holt because he was a rookie. The other one. Yeah.
The other one.
Yeah. Here we go. Eric Green. Remember Eric Green, the tight end, big tight end for the Steelers. Hall of Famer, Junior Seau.
Poor Junior Seau.
Oh, what a force. But yeah, obviously rough life. Ricky Dixon. Oh, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say the name and for these last 3 cards, and you tell me if you can get the team.
Isaac Bruce is who we were thinking of. Go ahead.
Bruce, yes. Tommy Agee.
I want to say he was in the AFC North.
No, Cowboys.
Cowboys. Oh, yeah. I was way off. Never mind.
All right. Ricky Natil. You should get this one.
Oh, Ricky Natil. I can't remember.
Ricky Natil is Broncos. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That one I thought you would get. And then your last one, Michael Haddix.
No idea.
Not sure you could. Yeah, that one. He's a Packer. He was a Packer running back.
I don't think I've ever heard of him.
So other than Junior Seau, that was one disastrous pack. Is what that was.
Well, I'll bring it back to baseball and show you Tommy Pham, PosCast legend Tommy Pham.
PosCast legend Tommy Pham. Would you say we are still feminines?
Yeah, we're feminines. Austin Hayes on the Reds. Can I say something about the Reds?
Yes, please.
Underrated helmets, I would say.
Oh, I had not thought of that. You're talking batting helmet. You're not talking the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a really clean logo. White on red is cool. Like I bought an Ellie De La Cruz jersey, and I see it in my closet, and it obviously stands out. It's bright red.
Sure.
And nothing else I own is bright red. But I was watching a Reds-Dodgers game, and when they were hitting, I was like, that is a good helmet. That's a cool helmet.
I'm going to say I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% right.
Going the other way, we have the San Diego Padres alt uniforms, which are nonsense.
Well, nonsense, and why?
Why?
Why? Yeah,
it's nice to pay some homage to their proximity to Mexico, and
yes,
and they have a lot of good players on the team who are from Central America. But this color combo, this
well, and
is
especially when you see the great brown and gold on the bottom of that.
Yeah, what are we doing? You already have the coolest throwback possible.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Okay, here's a numbered card. It's Ryan Bergert of the Royals.
Sure.
This is 35 out of 76. So 76. When they do their parallels, you can see the number there at the bottom. If you can see it, there it is. You can see it.
Oh, look at that.
So they do it out of the year that the cards are from. Some of them. So this is 35 out of 76. I don't know Ryan Bergert. Do you know Ryan Bergert?
I know of the name. I don't know what a prospect he is.
Here's another off-center, but not as off-center speckled parallel. It's JC Escarra. And by the way, if you're listening, the Yankees front office, keep investing in players like JC Escarra.
That's where if you want to advance,
if you want to get back to the promised land, throw all your money
it's all about JC Escarra. Exactly right.
Matt Swanson, don't know him either.
Sure, Matt Swanson.
Leody Taveras. Here's what are we doing, Mariners? What are we doing? How are we? Are we going to be okay? Are we making moves? Are they going to contend? Are they going to break the curse?
I think they are absolutely relying on the fact they were good last year. That feels like it's not.
What is give me your, as long as we're doing this, we're heading into divisional playoff round.
Yes.
What are we thinking? Give me Joe Posnanski's.
Okay. Well, here's I have, and this is truer of me than probably the last, maybe ever, but certainly the last 10 or 15 years of the NFL. I have hardcore rooting interests in the NFL playoffs this year. Yeah.
Okay.
I am.
Wait, can I guess them? Can I guess them?
Who are my two teams that I am dying for?
Well, easily you're rooting for Bills over Broncos.
Of course.
Hating.
I'm rooting Bills all the way. This is all the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pats, Texans, I'm going to say you don't really care, except you hate the Pats, so you're rooting for the Texans.
No, I kind of don't hate the Pats now. I kind of like Drake May. Drake May lived
from North Carolina.
He lived like 5 minutes from where we live. So yeah. I kind of like them. I do think that Texans defense is bananas.
I'm very scared. As a Patriots fan, and specifically a fan of this young quarterback, I'm very scared.
It is. I'm not going to say it's quite to that level, but it does give 85 Bears vibes.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. It's just, it's a bunch of like the fastest, most athletic, dominating, like defensive players. Like every time Danielle Hunter crashes through the line, I'm like, look out. I'm going to say you're hardcore Seahawks over 49ers.
I do want the Seahawks to win, but that's not my hardcore.
Not hardcore.
No.
And then the other one is Bears over Rams.
I am all in on the Bears, man.
Yeah.
All in. Bears and Bills. I I am rooting as hard for the Bears and Bills as I ever have for the Browns. I mean, that's how much I want that matchup. Who do you want? What do you
I
want?
well, obviously, Patriots aside, I'm rooting
Obviously.
for the Patriots,
Yes.
and Drake May. I'm watching my 17-year-old son fall in love with Drake May the exact same way I fell in love with Tom Brady in
Yeah, you
2001.
can't pass on that.
Yeah,
It's
but Bills and Bears are the clear
yeah.
favorites here
Yeah.
for rooting interest, except I would throw in Seahawks simply because they've been like the best team in the NFC all year and no one's talked about them.
No one's talked about them at
No one at
all.
all. And if they hadn't won fairly recently, I think they would fall into the same category, but you got to be rooting for the to me the perfect Josh Allen Hall of Fame narrative is
Yes.
this guy is the best. He's been the best player in the NFL for years. He lost multiple playoff games to Patrick Mahomes, one of which he put his team in front with 13 seconds left to go.
Right.
And then in a year when they had no receivers and they were totally beaten up, he won 4 straight playoff games on the road and won a Super Bowl. Like if he could do that,
It'd be the best.
he's already one of the greats. He
Oh,
really
for
is.
sure.
Like
For sure.
100%. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's one of the greats, blah, blah, blah. But if he could drag this Bills team, this version of the
They're not
Bills,
good. They're not
yeah,
very good. That
they're
Bills
not
team
very
is just
good.
not very good.
All of his receivers are hurt. And if he could actually knock off, like go on the road as a wild card team and go bing, 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 and
It'd
win
be
the Super Bowl,
yeah.
it would be one of the great seasons of all time.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Yeah, I'm so into that. And then the Bears, I'm in love with. All right. This will be our last packs. I am going to open the Bowman draft cards because I'm kind of interested to see what that even is.
Great.
Here's what I'm going to say. First thing I'm going to say about the Bowman draft cards. There are a lot of cards in each pack.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a lot.
Well, there's a lot of guys get drafted. There's
but that's
42
great.
rounds
I mean, this is all I've wanted is like stop giving us these 3-card packs, man. Like when we were kids, could you imagine like getting a 3-card pack? How many? Like we already were like obsessively spending every penny we had on cards. If we could only get 3 per pack, we would have been stealing to do it. All right.
It's a different world we're in now.
It's a different world. And they are all exciting. All right. So these are obviously all draftees. So these are not. So I'm going to just kind of give you like a little, like Travis Bazzana is a great name.
That's a big card. Yeah. He's also a very highly touted prospect.
He is a very highly touted player. As is Caden Bodine, by the way. Isn't he a pretty highly touted player?
So you'll see with the Bowman draft cards in the upper right, there's occasionally a first, right? That means this is this person's first Bowman card.
So this is his first card, right?
That is when you're collecting rookie cards, that is the key. Is it his first Bowman or is it not his first Bowman?
Yeah. So that was Cameron Nelson's first card. I mean, do you respect the fact that they called Cam Caminiti Cam? Do you respect that?
I don't know if I do or not. I've gone back and forth on this.
That's a tough one. All right, we got a first Michael Oliveto card. If you're a big Michael Oliveto fan, or if you are Michael Oliveto, if you whoever you are out there.
Was that he was a Tiger prospect?
He is a Tigers prospect. Yes. Gavin Feen. Oh, Matt Barr. Isn't Matt Barr like a prospect?
Are you thinking of the Cleveland Browns place kicker, Matt Barr?
I might be with the single. He had the single bar.
He had the single bar. Yeah. He wore 1 bar. Yeah.
Wait, Kate Anderson.
Right? That's
his first.
Mariners. Yeah.
Like a decent prospect. Gavin Turley. Let's see. Oh, now Sebastian Walcott. Oh, here we go. So here's our first, I guess, big green thing. It is Dante Nori.
Ooh.
So
that's a great. I believe that is a green grass parallel.
That is a green grass parallel. But we have our first autograph. First autograph.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. I mean, basically, we're going to be like at home, like rooting for Jamie Arnold to develop into a player. It's his first card. It's signed.
I mean, put it in a sleeve, baby.
Put it in a sleeve.
That
absolutely.
guy becomes the next Paul Skeens. You got something on your hands there.
We got something on our hands. All right. Good name, Ike Irish.
Ike Irish. Great name.
Great name, right?
Yeah.
Is Cameron Maldonado Candy Maldonado's kid? Is that are they
There's at
related?
least a chance.
There's at least a chance. Steele Hall for the Reds. Is it Steele Hall? I think he's a prospect. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know if he is or not.
See, I don't like it. Show that card again because I don't like it when they wear the white jerseys and have the red hats. You got to go all red. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Oh wait, that's the Angels. Same thing though with the Angels. Like commit, man.
Yeah. Plus, he's got like the blue bandana under the hat. There's a lot too much going on there.
Yeah.
Honestly. All right, Ryan Mitchell. Oh, here we go. This is a special card. You know, this is a special card because it is both sideways and it is a card where he is basically at a press conference.
Sure.
But this is, I guess, Ed Willett's signing press conference. He was a first round pick. He hit 478 in high school. About that. That's a little something. All right, Jared Thomas. And then finally, the first card of Kansas City's Nolan Sayers. So very exciting if you're a Royals fan. These are all available. We'll have lots and lots of these. I got a whole box to open up. All right, what is your last box that you're opening?
All right, I'm gonna go through. I've been furiously opening these cards while you've been talking, and I've got some highlights here. I'll show you some highlights.
I love it.
All right, so a couple more of these blue speckle refractors here.
Okay.
Here's again not perfectly centered. Here's Matthew Lugo, the Angels there.
It is speckled, very, very nicely speckled.
Definitely speckled. Here's a chrome card of Griffin Canning of the Mets.
Okay. I'm not in love with that card.
No, it's all right. Here's Luarbird Arias of the Marlins, another blue speckle card, slightly better centered this time. So it looks like it is indeed a mistake. This is a fun card. It says Reggie Jackson, Orioles, 1776 to 1976.
Wow.
That's fun.
That is a very fun card.
I guess simultaneously celebrating Reggie Jackson's time on the Orioles and the bicentennial of the United States.
I think it's celebrating Reggie Jackson's time of the Orioles and his role in the Revolutionary War.
Revolutionary War, yes, as his role as a lieutenant commander in the Revolutionary Army. Now, so this is what I'm talking about. So look at Brian Hayes. This is what I like.
That's a good uniform.
Red jersey, red batting helmet. Like, that's just cool, man. That's cool. I even don't mind the black long sleeve undershirt underneath it. I think that's a good look.
I think it's a good look.
Big question mark for the Red Sox this year.
Yeah.
That I hope is answered in the affirmative. Can Marcelo Mayer become something?
I was just thinking about this, because here's the thing. We haven't talked about the Red Sox, and we don't really have time to talk about them now. But the Red Sox have been kind of a disappointment to me this whole offseason, even though they picked up a couple of guys that have been decent. And I say that because they very specifically shed a lot of money last year with the implicit promise that they would spend that money to get better. And they have not spent that money.
At the risk of seeming like a company man, they got Contreras to play first base, who is an actual first baseman, which is good because they haven't had one. And they spent $130 million on Ranger Suarez, which is good because Ranger Suarez is the guy you get because he's starting game 2 of a playoff series.
Totally. And I think getting Sonny Gray was really a good move.
It's not
like they haven't made good moves.
No, they are clearly counting on, shy of, spending the money on Bichette or someone or re-signing Bregman. They are clearly counting on Roman Anthony taking a leap, Christian Campbell becoming the guy he was in the first month, Meyer potentially becoming a valuable hitter. Like there's a chance it works out, but also like it's hard to lose a guy like Bregman who's like a veteran who plays an important position and not just replace that specific guy with a guy who's proven. Well, I think they were maybe in the Kettle Marte sweepstakes, and it seems like maybe the Diamondbacks aren't trading Kettle Marte.
No, it doesn't look like he's going to go.
But
do you think? I mean, look, you're closer to it than anybody as a fan. Are you a firm believer in Marcelo Meyer?
I think his glove is great.
Yeah,
and I think he's got a very good swing.
He has a very good swing.
So whether he can like become really consistent, like what they need out of him is for him to play second base and have an 800 OPS. And I don't know. That's remains to be seen. Here's another Connor. Here's Connor Gillespie, also slightly miss off center there, but
I guess they
the,
just did not know how to center
yeah.
those cards.
There's a Marcelo Mayer sort of blue parallel here, which is kind of fun. That's nice
Oh,
for
that is
me.
fun.
One son we forgot that we can put at second, I guess. Or didn't he used to catch Cody Clemens?
Oh yeah. There you
Didn't he?
go.
Wasn't he a catcher for a while, or am I making that up?
I don't remember him being a catcher,
Uh,
but maybe he was.
and a couple more here. Here's a blue parallel of Eugenio.
Okay, there you go.
Um,
Love
what
him.
a exciting thing that was last year when it was like, oh my God, the Mariners are going for it. Remember?
Oh, it felt so good. It felt so good.
And then finally we got Jake Myers blue parallel here.
Okay, not
I
bad.
like that. That's a very old timey pose
I like
on
it.
that
I
card.
like
Yeah,
it. It really
Pre-
looks like he's afraid he's going to get hit with the ball.
pretending to catch a pop fly is one of my favorite old timey baseball card poses.
Oh, it's amazing. All right, so we are doing this for the next month or so, or more or less. We are raising money for Team Gleason. Please go to my website to find out where you can link, or you could just go right to teamgleason.org and donate. We will be giving away all of these cards plus all sorts of other bonus things. So please donate as much as you can. And now it's time for one last meaningless thing to end this meaningless thing. And I will start because I did, as I mentioned, I now am wearing contact lenses, which is a real shift. I mean, I wore glasses for 50 years with very, very few efforts to do this. And I think that the contact lens experience for me has been different than I expected in this way. I I thought it would be harder to get them in and out. Like I
Hmm.
thought that would be the issue. I thought the issue would be like the getting them in and out. Hasn't, at least so far, that's not been an issue at all. But yeah, it drives me absolutely bonkers that I have to always have reading glasses somewhere nearby. How do you do that? Are you a wear
I
them around your neck kind of person?
No, miraculously, I turned 50 this year, but have not hit the point where I need reading glasses, and my eye doctor is baffled because
Really?
almost everyone does by this age,
Yeah.
and also my vision has been so bad for so long. It's crazy to get news that's like your vision's pretty good in this one specific way, but it's coming. I can feel it. It's on the way. It happens very quickly when it happens. It just
Gotcha.
suddenly you can't read a menu in a restaurant, but
Right.
I have not yet hit the point where I need reading glasses for up close reading.
But you do have cheaters. You do have cheaters that
No,
are
I don't have no.
so you
I
have
can
nothing.
No, I don't have no. I mean,
What a life.
I have like 2,500 vision, but I don't need reading glasses. Let me have this one thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So when you wake up in the morning, you don't even have glasses by your bedside
Well,
to
no, I
like
have to put on my glasses because I can't see
that's my
anything
point.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't need reading. Once my
Well, no, no.
contact
What I'm
camera.
saying is before you put on the content, I hardly ever see you in glasses.
No, I only wear them right when I wake up. I put
That's
them
what I
on
was gonna say.
until I put my contacts in, and then when I take my contacts out at night, I put them back on.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do.
yeah.
So all right. Well, I'll figure it out. I'm sure our listeners will have some advice for me on what to do with these cheaters because I've bought a whole bunch of them. I
Yeah,
have them all around the house now.
yeah. You got to
But
just leave a pair on your desk, a pair by your bed, a pair in
I
the
guess I
kitchen.
mean I don't see I guess there are ways. I just saw that you can actually get like a magnetic set that you can attach to your phone.
Oh,
Like there's a case that you can do that. I don't know if that works or not, but anyway, I'm sure people will have thoughts on that.
yeah, I'm sure they will. My one last meaningless thing is that the one way to determine, and this is related to what we were just talking about, the pace at which you're aging
Yep.
is when you do something that you've always done in the same way you've always done it, but your body hurts more. And we've just started shooting this show and we've been on location on a set. And when you're on a location, it's like, you're not like in a comfortable, controlled environment on a
Right.
sound stage where everything is laid out and it's all like and so you often have to just stand more than you do when you're on a sound stage.
Yep.
And we've been shooting on this location near my office, and so you're standing and you've headphones on, you're watching on the monitors, and then you go out and you talk to the actors and the director, whatever, and you go back, and you just it's all it is. It's not heavy. It's not like intense cardio workout. It's just standing.
Right.
And I woke up the first day after just standing for a long time and felt like I had participated in an NFL, uh, like, contest, I guess. Like, my ankles and the soles of my feet and my knees and my hips and my back and my neck, it felt as though I had been it felt as if I'd, like, gone on a crossing route over the middle and Brian Urlacher had hit me coming the other way 11 times. And it like 10 years ago, I was fine
You would
when
have felt
if I
nothing.
just
You would have
yeah.
felt nothing.
I'd be, like, a little tired or whatever, but man, oh man, like,
No, it's
it's how
terrible.
you gauge aging is like,
Yeah.
there's this thing I've done before, it's just now when I do it, it hurts a lot.
Well, and the worst part about all of it, to me, is I get so mad at myself. Like I get like I should not be feeling this way just because I walked to the mailbox. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't. It feels like our bodies are just rebelling
Yeah.
against us.
Yeah,
It's
they're
that.
furious at us.
All right. Well, that's awesome. All right. So, one more time, we are raising money for the great people of Team Gleason. We have a goal this year. We've never really had a goal before. We've always been super happy to get wherever we could get. But we do have $100,000 goal this year to try to beat what we did last year. I think it'd be awesome. These people are amazing. Please come to the website and see uh, Steve Gleason talk about a little bit about what they do and why it's so important. It's really very special. This is as I said in a post at one point. This whole podcast is so meaningless, and
Yeah.
so it's so weird for us to have this one very meaningful thing that we do. But it is. It really is
Yeah, this is
meaningful.
the one time we put our meaninglessness aside,
Yeah. And
and,
that's it. And even
and
within our us doing that, it's still meaningless. But this one part of it is
well,
meaningful.
also, we solemnly vow that this is the only time you'll have to encounter meaning.
Yeah, we're not going to do this to you ever again. I mean, at no point. So anyway, uh with that, Mike, as always, thank you.
Thanks for having me.